Hey, welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Good. Hello, everybody.
Wish you could have been here a few minutes ago. We're having good times. We were discussing.
If that was my password, that'd be worrisome.
Go ahead and write it down. Nikki's password: OBADIAHLUVSME77.
That's not the passcode.
That's the password.
But doesn't it feel like one?
I know.
It really feels like a real one.
It is real.
That's not my password.
All right. Let's face it. ILUVOBADIAH77. I'm not sure where the sevens are coming from, but it just feels like you got to have a number.
You have to. You got to pick two.
Asterisk.
That's right.
Because you have to get something like that in there.
Those are holy numbers.
You know they are. That's a number of perfection, which is my love. Come on. Today in the podcast, we have unkind things to say about a lot of things, like Toys R Us, toast, hamburger buns for toast, Aquaman 2, Chinese space movies.
You know, out of all those, there isn't anything nice we said. So, yeah, you're right.
It's a lot of us saying, like, not nice things. Yes, I know.
We have to work on that.
I know. What about Mars 1?
We also say unkind things.
Nikki said that I would have to basically take her dead body to Mars, that she would never go.
That'd be the only way you can get me into space.
That's where you're wrong. I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Die here.
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
What?
I'm going to be like, Nikki, happy birthday. I'm taking you to the movies, you and Eric, and we're all going to go. And, hey, Nikki, I bought you this pretzel. You love these hot pretzels. Go ahead. The next thing you know,
I'm out and I'm in Mars.
And then you wake up on the spaceship like, what? What?
No, because then.
Turn around.
No, you know
Turn
what?
Around. I want to go back.
I'd be so angry at you, I would live. That I would live and I would do whatever it took to get back from Mars to deal with you.
Yeah, I like that. And you know what, Nikki? It's because of your spiteful hate. And I knew that the Mars colony was successful.
It would fuel me so much to where they're like, because of her, we managed to now live on Mars and make a trip back.
Nikki ate her own leg to survive. But the good news is she's here, and she's going to kick you with her other leg.
Now, we don't know where Obadiah went. He mysteriously disappeared when she returned. But
Oh, I'm not going. No. I'm just back here collecting the profits.
That's right.
And living, they call it the good life, I believe. That's my plan. So, hey, you guys enjoy the podcast. Nikki and I are just going to go.
Let's just go upstairs.
Great.
Oh, let's say it a little bit more enthusiasm.
We're
going upstairs. Da-da-da-da.
Maybe we got some like meetings or something.
We do actually.
Oh, we do?
It's Tuesday.
Yeah,
we have
we
meetings
don't want to have them.
Well,
I thought maybe we wouldn't have them.
If you say that, it doesn't mean that happens.
Okay.
You still have to go. All right, you guys have a great day.
I really, in the back of my head, thought we weren't going to do it.
Nope, that was just the back of your head. This is real life. Let's go to the meeting.
Let's go to the meeting.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
So I am just a couple days away from the Columbus, Ohio iteration of the American Lung Association's Fight for Air Climb. Now, you're like, I want to do it. Hey, you know what, my friend Scott in Las Vegas, his is 2 weeks from now.
So it kind of depends on which area you're at. If your city has one, you can look them up and find out where it's going to be located.
I saw a video or a picture of him at a practice climb last weekend. And
is
he's
that his
climbing,
first time doing one?
It is. And his is more. Theirs is like 70 or 80 flights. I mean, it's almost twice what I have to do. Like, it's way bigger. And you know what? God bless him.
Have fun with that.
God bless him. So this morning I was on the stair machine, which I just want you to know, I don't like it at all. Like that was the conclusion I came to this morning. I was like, I don't like this.
Well, you only use the machine when you get practicing for the stair climb, but then you don't use it the rest of the year.
I'm doing it for the kids. All right? And I'll tell you what, as soon as this is over.
For the lungs.
Nope.
No
the
more?
kids' lungs, Nikki. I'm out. I'm out on this whole stair climbing thing. But oh my gosh, this morning I broke the stair climber.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm on it and I've got it set. I'm doing 65 steps a minute, which is, I mean, I've done faster, but you can do worse. Whatever. So 65 steps a minute. 10 minutes, that's 650 steps, and I will tell you that's just about enough for the stair climb. Because the stair climb that I'm going to do, it's like those emergency staircases, and so the steps are smaller.
Yeah.
And so even though it's 880 steps...
It's not full steps quite.
Right. They're not quite as tall as what the actual like stair machine steps are. So basically, if I can do that, I can do that. Like, there's kind of a decent trade-off there. And I'm just going, and all of a sudden I'm like, going. I'm going fast. We're going fast, guys. Going fast. So turn it down. Trying to turn it down. Not turning it down. I'm getting lower. I'm getting lower down on the stairs. And pretty soon I just hit stop, and I was like, I'm almost running. I'm like, it'll stop at any minute. And finally, I just jumped off, and it was like, okay.
Hey, that's the new training one. You didn't know they changed up the stair machine.
Dude. And it was just one of those moments where you're like, I don't want to go tell them.
Why you have to tell them?
That I broke it.
No.
No, I needed to, because you know what? As soon as it was weird. It was great timing because it broke about the same time. There's only 3 stair machines in there because only stupid people get on them. And so the 2 people that were next to me, they got off the stair machines. And so I just got on one of theirs. And then, of course, a guy almost immediately came over to get on the one that I had been on. And I had to tell him, like, hey, I think it's broken. But I didn't tell him that until he got on it. And he started having a problem because I thought, maybe it was just me.
Yeah, but then he's like, oh, looks like he thinks you're just telling him, oh, looks like it's broken.
No, I told him, I was like, hey, I was just on that one.
I'm the one who did that.
I think it's broken. And I think I did it.
Well, what are they going to do?
And so I probably put a little sign on it. And it usually, the gym I'm at, they put a little sign up, and it takes them 6 to 8 weeks to fix stuff.
Well, I want to find out if that one is really necessary. Can they do it too, or what?
Do we really need this? I mean, come on.
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. RadioU.
I want to say good morning to Casey. Just texted in at 877-2-RADIO-U. Of course, you can do the same. You can call, too, if you want to. Casey says, malfunctioning gym equipment is never fun. I was jogging on a treadmill, and it just stopped, and I ran right into the front of it.
Ooh, that must have hurt. And been embarrassing and just shocking.
I think I would take that over the thing where you fall off the treadmill, though.
It depends. Like, if you would have smacked your face or something and could have done some damage.
Okay, I'll just say...
Compared to just like, whoop, slipping off.
No, see, I feel like slipping off, I'd be like in pieces.
Donk.
Yeah. I don't. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll take the no malfunctioning for $100.
I like that. So option C. We didn't talk about that a lot, but
we didn't go with that. It's fine.
Well, Casey, thank you for texting.
Hey, Larry, another tubby broke the stair machine.
You didn't break it. You just broke while you were on it. There's a difference.
I was too much man for that stair machine, Nikki.
It couldn't handle you.
Know what I'm saying? I need. Well, we'll just move on, shall we? Hey, speaking of too much.
What do we got?
I don't know. Like, okay, you guys are killing it lately with shipping stuff to us for food fights.
Do you want scissors or do you need something?
I think let's try my keys. That's the way I won't be able to get in my car later.
Because it'll just be broke.
I'll break my keys.
You take it to the dealership. They're like, why won't my key work? Well, it seems like you've hurt the key.
We want to say hi to Brittany in Oklahoma City.
Oh, you guys have just been so sweet to find things that we have not been able to locate.
Yeah, so let's find out. Oh, gosh.
What's in there?
Man, I cast this demon out. And it's
out of the box.
7 of its friends. Look what's in it.
What is it? Oh, no, it's your Honey Made S'mores cereal.
You guys don't even know. You don't even know. I made Nikki throw it away last Friday.
Because he eats too much of it.
We threw it away and it's back. It's a sign, Nikki.
It is.
I broke the stair machine, and there's a box of s'mores cereal. My destiny. I'm keeping this box.
And what was her name? Was Bethany?
Brittany.
Brittany, you don't want to be rude and ignore and not eat it.
She's a good boy, Floyd. You don't want to make her feel bad.
Ooh, the strawberry Pop-Tart cereal.
Frosted strawberry Pop-Tart cereal. And brown cinnamon sugar.
Boy, guys, we couldn't stop eating cereal if we wanted to.
Brittany.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Thank you very much.
And don't take this the wrong way, but I'll put it over here with the others.
We're going to be having a Pop-Tart cereal food fight later this week.
I feel like maybe we need to do an after-show in which we just sit around and eat cereal.
No, I feel like we need to go to the grocery store and get milk. We just need to leave milk in there.
And then it would take care of... Well, I know, but I mean, like, just for the taste test.
Yeah, we just have so much cereal nowadays.
Okay, well... Okay, do you remember when we first started doing the Riot, when you and Eric first got married, like, we ate a bunch of cereal?
Just all the time, just for breakfast?
Yes, we did.
Well, yeah, I mean.
We did that. And so you guys kept bringing in cereal, and so it just became the thing. The three of us would sit in the studio and eat cereal. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
I remember that. It was funny.
We can still do this.
Then I ate at McDonald's for a while every morning.
I remember that.
Yeah, because they were like, hey, it's temporary. We're going to hire somebody else to do this.
And he thought, what if I gain weight? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'll take it off.
I won't be doing this for very long.
Year one of the riot, it was like 30 pounds. It was bad. From not eating breakfast to eating like breakfast.
Now you're like, I can't possibly. Oh, wait, just pass me one of the boxes of cereal.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. Zero. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. RadioU.
I went to the dentist yesterday. No cavities.
Woo! Way to be grown up and taking care of that.
So I want to say hi to Izzy. She or he, I can't remember, just texted and said, there never is a day that the riot ends up making me hungry, whether it's food fights, talking about an eating establishment's new item, or even just bologna and bread. Thank you, guys. Well,
you are welcome.
I got news because I got more food stuff to talk about.
For days.
Okay, we were just talking about how when we first started the riot together, I ate at McDonald's every morning for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, McDonald's has got a new item on the breakfast menu.
So is it finally out, or?
It's not out yet, but they're putting the rumors to rest because rumors are becoming truth.
They confirmed yesterday.
Open up the windows and let the light of the sun shine in. McDonald's is going to be bringing you donut sticks.
So this will be confirmed on its breakfast menu starting on February 20th. So next Wednesday for a limited time.
Ooh, you know what that means, Nikki?
What?
You know that all of their drinks, unless you get into the McCafe or them, are only $1. So I could get soda or coffee of any size for $1. So you roll on through the McDonald's, get a coffee and a soda.
Get a couple of sticks.
You get yourself some donut sticks. That's not good.
They come in 6 or 12.
I can't have people handing me donuts out the window.
You can go through the drive-thru, and it's not like a donut. Like, it's smaller. It's a stick. It's different. It's like a straw that you can't drink through.
I love that logic. What if we bit off each end? Could we turn it into a coffee straw?
Maybe. So there you go. That starts next Wednesday. And this is in comparison to Dunkin' Donuts. They had their donut fries for a while.
Never even had them.
And this will be like McDonald's version to try for a limited time only.
There is, and never has been, like a truly convenient Dunkin' Donuts for the riot.
No, it's not.
There was one that was really out of the way, but one I could have made work if I tried hard and believed in myself. But it just was not remotely convenient, and it's closed now.
The one over there?
No.
There's one over there.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
But it's going too far. It's like going too far past work.
Do you mean like Sawmill Road?
High Street.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts over there?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't go over there.
Well, see, again, it's past our work.
I don't go over there. Whatever's over there, I don't go over there.
Never mind.
I'm sure there's fine people and fine establishments.
Well, I'm telling you, there's one right over there.
Well, my Dunkin' Donuts is a vape shop now, so I can get a donut flavored vape. Yeah, it's like, hey, this is kind of not good for you, to straight up, this is bad.
We're like, I can't eat donuts anymore, but I can do that.
I feel addicted to donuts. Well, let's just get you something. We'll get you addicted to this that has no calories.
I feel like the person who's leasing out that building is really into addictions. Like, what's it going to be?
What are you talking about?
You go from donuts to, vaping.
So do you... Oh my
It'll be like a liquor store next.
I was going to say there's a liquor store, and then like a year, 18 months from now, there's just a big recovery center that's taking over the entire thing.
Because he's sorry that he's done that to the entire shopping center.
I've got to help the community.
But we're really reaching from just a donut stick to rehab.
We've gone all the way from McDonald's to the guy that owns the strip mall.
Listen, people aren't connecting. They're not connecting the dots like we should.
Nikki and I are big picture people.
We are.
We see it all.
It's a problem, actually.
We see it all. It does take some of the fun out.
It doesn't stop us, but we see it all.
We see it all.
So next Wednesday is what we've been telling you.
Yeah.
That the donut fries from McDonald's will be out for a limited time for the sticks.
Getting focused. I got it.
Right there.
I got it.
The Riot's future, 2 words. Goat Farm. RadioU.
Big news, of course, West Coast, crazy weather. And isn't it funny, like, weather... I mean, like, they're not just getting, a lot of times you're like, you got a half an inch of snow, man up, quit being so wimpy about it.
They're
Like, they're getting
some snow,
dude.
But it's not just that, they don't have the same infrastructure for when
Right.
you do receive that, you just can't be safe with it.
It's crazy. And the thing about the weather is, like, you can't, like, there's nothing you can do about the weather. That's what I hate about the weather. Like, I'll say that over the last month or so, I've been less than favorably inclined towards the weather I'm receiving in my own neighborhood. Guess who can't do anything about it? I mean, I can complain about it. I can prepare for it.
People can try to predict it, but be wrong.
Exactly. And, I've been thinking about weather as like our emotional state. A lot of times, your emotional state, you just wake up feeling a certain way, right? So, like, you wake up mad and you're like, well, the forecast today was for fun. Like, everything.
What happened?
Everything pointed towards today being a ton of fun, and I'm just mad about something that happened 3 years ago. Or you wake up and you're like, I feel really guilty. I didn't do anything wrong. Too bad it's raining. Whatever. You just have so little control. I mean, you can choose what to do with them and all that kind of stuff. But, a lot of times you just wake up feeling a certain way and, it's snowing. Oh, well, what are you going to do about it? And here's what I found is that I have a relationship with God, and the reality of it is that I still go through things. Like, life is not perfect, and there are still things that are way outside my control. It still rains. But you know what? God is there with me under the umbrella. God is with me in my house. It's freezing cold outside, but he gives me a place to hide out from the weather a little bit. And that's what God wants to do for you. I can't promise you that, like, you're going to feel great today. I can't promise you that people are going to be nice to you today. Like, there are so many things in life that are just the weather. You just don't know what the heck is happening. You can make predictions, but man, are the weather people ever right? Like 2% of the time, right? But I do know this. This is a prediction that is right 100% of the time. No matter what your emotional weather is, like your circumstances of life, whatever, I can tell you, you're not going to face it alone, and God's going to be there with you, holding the umbrella, helping you through. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you should start one now. Just say, God, I need that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to hold an umbrella. I want you to help me because, God, I'm struggling. And you know what? God is going to do that. He is going to be with you today and get you through.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
It's a big week, Nikki.
It is. You got Valentine's on Thursday.
That's funny. That
wasn't even in there.
wasn't even registering.
All right. Well, that's Thursday, if anybody else cares.
Okay, I was talking about all the video games that come out on Friday.
Oh, the day after Valentine's Day?
Sure, whatever.
So what games come out this week?
You got Far Cry New Dawn, which is like a Far Cry spinoff. It's actually a sequel to Far Cry 5. I wonder how it's all going to work.
Why? What Far Cry number are we at?
Well, see, Far Cry 5 is like a full price $60 retail game, but Far Cry New Dawn is $40.
Like an in-between?
Like, yeah. So what does that mean exactly, an in-between? So I guess the idea is that it takes place on the same map that Far Cry 5 did, but it's a new game.
So basically they didn't have to start from scratch, like developing the game.
And they're kind of telling you, like, hey, look.
It's not a full game.
I just want you to know, like, we stole some stuff. And if they're admitting it, that means they're stealing way more stuff than you know from the other one. So that's a thing.
It's not stealing when it's their own game.
It is their own, but, you kind of paid for it once.
They're just utilizing what was already created to craft a new story.
Now, I ended up with 2 copies of Far Cry 5, and it's not even that good because I bought it for the PC, and I was playing and having fun, and then my friends were like, why won't you play with us on Xbox ever? So
you got guilted in?
Yeah, so I bought a copy of it on the Xbox, and guess how many times we all played together? 1 freaking time. 2 if you count, like, there was technically a second time, but I was playing a rental copy at that point. So after I plucked down the money for it, we could only be, bothered
one time
to play together one time.
Well, what else comes out?
You've also got Crackdown 3 coming out. Now, that's an Xbox exclusive, Nikki, but that's happening, and that comes as part of Xbox Game Pass. Like, you can go buy it if you want to. Or they're having a deal where if you've never had Game Pass, you can get 2 months of that for $2. So then you get
a little hit.
Yeah, you can play. Get a little hit of the Crackdown. Is that what you're saying?
Just saying, a little hit of the monthly subscription.
Hey,
little bit for a good deal. It's a good deal.
They hope you never cancel it.
Uh-huh.
They know what they're doing.
Exactly.
They know what they're doing. Oh, let's see. Was there anything else in that mix? And if you are one of those like VIP whatevers with Origin on Xbox or PC, you can play Anthem this weekend. But of course, you'll have to pay. It's not a freebie.
But it's there.
Yeah, it seems like there might actually be one more thing happening. One more game on Friday. So
well, thank you to Derek for texting. He said he downloaded Apex Legends, and he says it's a really great game, so he's playing that.
And that's free!
Yes. Because, again, they just want to get you in.
Yeah, I feel like it's timed around Valentine's Day because they're like, hey, you're lonely. You had a rough Thursday. Come on, let's do Friday.
Spend Friday.
Get yourself a little something.
Yeah, that way you can feel better for the weekend.
Get yourself a little something. All right.
Well, there's a couple of options.
Yeah, well, there you go. Who's excited about that? Anybody? Nikki, which one are you going to get this weekend?
I was more excited about Valentine's Day. Not necessarily what the games are coming after. Actually, the day after Valentine's Day is when you're supposed to go get all the flowers and all the stuff that, you could have a weekend if you don't have a special someone. You have a weekend where you pick whatever game you want. And can you imagine your room full of like the next day flowers, balloons, and all the Valentine's candy you could imagine?
Perfect.
And you could just play games all weekend.
Perfect.
You don't need to get out.
You don't. You know what I want? I want those little Dove hearts that have peanut butter in them. Like they're chocolate, but there's peanut butter. Because their peanut butter tastes different than the Reese's peanut butter, and I've said too much.
The Riot is now accepting applications for a staff pastry chef. Please drop your resumes and an example of your work at the studio door, and we'll get back to you. Wink, wink. The Riot on RadioU.
Many of you did lament what this Christmas was like without Toys R Us.
Was this the first full year without it?
Well, it was the first full holiday season.
Even though if you had a Toys R Us near you, they turned into like that.
Toy City?
Yeah, like it's not a toy place, but it is. It was very weird.
It was the same people that do Spirit of Halloween. They just showed up in the same places, but now instead of like sexy Ghostbuster, it was like family appropriate Ghostbuster or
they
whatever.
They kept the space for Halloween, and
Paw
then
Patrol.
they brought in the Christmas stuff too.
That really messed that joke up. It should have been sexy Paw Patrol and then just Paw Patrol.
Yes, exactly.
I gotta be honest, not too up on like what you'd find at Toys R Us these days. I always went the collector section and the clearance section, and that's the stuff that I would buy at Toys R Us. Well, Zombie Toys R Us is coming back because they sold the naming rights to Toys R Us. So like there's a company out there right now that's just like, dang it, people gotta get Jeffrey back.
Or Joffrey. Was it Jeffrey?
It was Jeffrey.
It was Jeffrey? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, he's not that snooty. Joffrey's that's snooty. Oh,
that's a totally different brand.
Come on. Yes, it's Joffrey. We don't shop where the plebes shop at the Toys R Us.
So basically, one of the former Toys R Us executives is CEO of a company called True Kids Brand, and they're exploring starting stores and an e-commerce site as well.
So they're saying for sure there's going to be a website coming back. Like that's something that I've been hearing a lot of, which I've got to tell you, listen, there's no such thing as like, I mean, there is, but online shopping is mostly the same everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to give me? Free shipping and a good like user interaction on like that's it. Okay. That's all you got. So I don't feel better buying from ToysRUs.com than I do from Amazon.com.
Well,
who cares?
No, I think think that e-commerce, they've given us almost everything they can give us.
Right.
So if the price is going to be about the same, we're going to go with either loyalty or like where you're already ordering other stuff from.
Exactly, yeah.
So convenience, and Amazon's going to always win for convenience. I would not go to Toys R Us and just buy something from that site
just to support them.
Yeah, or their other e-commerce site, because it's easier for me to add it to my box full of other stuff over there.
You know what? You just became the person that killed Jeffrey.
Yeah, apparently.
You know what? I just can't
I didn't do it. I
can't be bothered with going to Toys R Us.
I had to get a present for someone's birthday, and I ordered it online, and I went to pick it up to make it easier.
Yeah, because it's more convenient if you do online ordering in-store pickup.
I stood in there for 40 minutes as we tried to make that order happen, and I just thought, this place is a mess. It was always dirty, and it was a mess. So they had other problems. What? Apparently, I was still passionate about it. It's just a dump.
You want to bring Toys R Us back? Clean it up.
Clean it up, and then you can do it.
And when I come in for online pickup, I don't want to wait for an hour.
Thank you. It was supposed to be easy.
Do you want to know something funny? That I had the exact same experience at Toys R Us. They put Disney Infinity 3.0 on clearance, and I was like, dude, and I picked it up for $5. I went into Toys R Us. There was a line, and I counted more than 10 people in the customer service line, which is where you would go for your online pickup. And I looked at that, and I was like, you know what? If I don't pick it up within 3 days, it goes back on the shelf. It's not worth this. Like, whatever this is, it's not worth it.
Well, they had finally brought me my gift that I was getting somebody, and the box was so damaged, and the person was just like, oh, well. And I said, well, can I just go exchange it with something else on the shelf, because I can't give this as a gift? And they're like, no, because it's tied into that particular one. Yeah. So we had to redo the whole thing, and I was not happy. So I was like, I'm not surprised Toys R Us went away. I'm not surprised at all.
You know, your inventory system killed you.
Yeah,
that's what
like
it was.
We could come through and clean this all up, but they didn't want to.
No,
so.
not interested in helping.
Shoot. But if it comes back, we'll see what happens.
Well, you know, they say some freestanding locations, but remember, it'll only be Toys R Us in name only. So it'll be like a Tino instead of a Rhino. It's Toys R Us in name only.
It just won't be exactly the same.
But you know what? Best of luck to him. I saw that Instagram of Joffrey being forced to go packing. I just said
you
Joffrey,
did it too.
didn't I?
I know. You just did.
Man, you guys can't even know how much I hate myself right now.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I was trying to remember what I wanted us to talk about, but I keep thinking about the toast I just made.
You made a bagel.
It's not a bagel.
Oh, it's a bun. Yeah, so you're just eating a bun?
Well, it's got some almond butter on it.
So, but it's
toast.
It's a hamburger bun?
Yeah.
Just feels like it'd be different than just toast.
What do you mean?
It's not toast. It's not a slice of bread.
It's sliced bread.
Sandwich. I don't know how to say it. Like, it feels like it would taste different, like, mentally. I wouldn't be able to get over it. It's not a hamburger, but it's a hamburger bun.
The only thing I will say about it is that, like, normally the bread I eat is, like, it has everything in it. It's cardboard. I mean, it's just full of so much stuff. This is just plain old white bread buns, and it's almost like it's not even there. There's a light fluffiness to it that it's like, am I eating anything at all?
Is it a nice change then?
Actually, it's delicious.
Not so much seed action like your bread.
Yeah, normally it's like you chew and chew and chew and chew and chew, and you're like, still going. And this, you're like, did I even eat anything?
But were you out of other bread, or?
That's correct.
So you're just using your hamburger buns?
Have you never done this?
No, not hamburger buns.
Never?
No, never.
See, at home, like, if I was making you a hamburger, I would probably toast your bun for you.
Well, no, I've had that before. I've had hamburger buns before, and yes, toasted, but not with, like, almond butter as a breakfast alternative.
I don't understand why this is so weird.
It's just different.
You know, Nikki, like, do you spend any time in the kitchen at all?
I even?
There's a lot of, interchangeable ingredients.
It just seems like in my mind, I'd be like, oh, I kind of wish it was a hamburger instead.
Aaron says, wait. You eat hamburger buns as toast. What? Like,
He's just doing it today.
I was out of bread.
He was adding bread.
Okay, listen. Hamburger buns are bread.
Yes, but it's different bread.
It's shaped differently, but it's just bread.
It's not its purpose in life.
It's just bread.
It's supposed to be there for a sandwich.
Oh, Zach, right there. He says toasted hot dog buns are amazing, and he's right.
Now, wait. Toasted hot dog buns with what? With hot dogs?
Well, with hot dogs and stuff in them.
Yes, but would a toasted hot dog bun be okay with almond butter in the morning?
If you were out of other bread, sure, why not?
That'd be it.
Toast the thing. Get yourself a little almond butter. It's bread. They are bread.
It's all bread.
That is what, Zach says a toasted hot dog. No. PB&J hot dog buns. That's what Sam in Oklahoma City says.
That could be good.
And Stacy, are you even listening right now? She just texted us a picture of her dog.
She said, good morning.
Well, I appreciate that, but we're talking about toast. What kind of toast does your dog eat?
We're moving on from that to bread. So.
Okay. Zach says normal butter jelly. It's all amazing. See, I'm with you. Like, it's fine. What's the big deal? It's...
we're just all different. Some of us are toast.
Here's the thing.
Some of us are sandwich bread. Some of us are buns. Some of us are hot dog buns. Some of us are focaccia potato bread.
There are two things. One, of all the weird things you've seen me do, the fact that this is the one where you're like, I just can't believe this.
I can't get behind this.
Two, I also think that this is probably just one of many things. I imagine that if I invited Nikki into my actual life, it would just be scorn after scorn after scorn. It would be. Like, I'm just local. I'm lower class, Nikki.
That's not it.
It's like I spent so many years buying tissues, and I don't even buy tissues anymore. Now I'm just like, give me a freaking roll of toilet paper. I'll just blow my nose for days.
It's just fine.
What's the point?
No, I'm just telling you, it just looks odd that you're having a hamburger bun with almond butter for your breakfast. It's just different.
And so Stacy said to text him good morning, and these are hot dogs.
Aww,
oh, nice. Okay,
cute.
I like that. I like it. Hannah says, I'm gluten-free. I miss real bread. Dude, Hannah, when you're gluten-free, right now, this is the best-looking food you've ever seen.
Jen texted PB&J tortillas. So you take
that's good.
Warm it up.
Oh, and that's okay?
Well, yeah, because it's not breakfast. You're not having it. Like, a tortilla works fine with that. Fine. We're not, divided on this. It's not a big deal.
Kyle says, can I get they are bread put on a sticker, please? And then this person says ham and cheese sandwich with hot did last dog buns.
Sometimes the talk to text is...
I'm sure whatever you said was really great.
It fails you sometimes. If I had to guess, I'd say a ham and cheese sandwich with hot dogs and a hot dog bun.
Okay, Sharon says hamburger buns are how we do garlic bread.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't, can you?
What?
You know what, Nikki? It's called, I want you to Google this.
Getting out of the box.
You ready? Functional fixedness.
Just fixing the problem?
I want I want you to Google functional fixedness, because that's where you're at with a hamburger bun right now. I'm outside the bun, okay?
How does Nikki put up with Obadiah day after day? It's easy. We pay her. RadioU.
Man, you start talking about toasting buns and
bread.
People got something to say.
You know what? People are passionate about bread. You miss it when you're just saying no to it, and you love it when you're eating it.
You know what? I do love bread, and I'll just eat bread. And I want you to know I had a donut yesterday, fried bread. You know how good it was? It was amazing. When I got done with it, the only thing I could think was, why on this earth did I only buy one donut?
Because you always want more than one.
Why didn't I buy more? Angela says, okay, well, if you were with this all comes down to, Nikki and I went into the break room together because we do everything together. And I am out of bread, so I toasted a hamburger bun and put almond butter on it. There, toast.
That's your breakfast.
And Nikki thinks that's ridiculous.
I don't think it's ridiculous. I just think it's kind of strange that in your mind you'd be like, yeah, that's what we're doing. It was
it's
not
toast.
In my mind, it wouldn't be the replacement. I would have just said, well, we can't have toast this morning.
So there is nothing.
So that we're having something else.
Okay. All right. Well, Angela says at Five Guys, we make grilled cheese with hamburger buns.
We've seen that.
Do you think is that okay?
No, I feel like it's off a little. You're just missing something because it's not the right bun for it. It's not the right bread.
All right. Well, Kendrick texted in and says, you don't know real desperation until you have to slice up a hot dog and put it on a hamburger bun because that's all you have.
That's all you have there.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. Because
I feel like a hot dog and a hamburger bun, it's just different shapes, but it's the same type of bread.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now?
It's the same.
Oh, they're buns, but they're interchangeable buns.
But your bread.
Heaven help me that you would interchange different types of bread.
Because that's for that meal. This is a breakfast slice of bread, and normally your bread has a lot more to it, and it works with the almond butter. I feel like the hamburger hot dog type of bread doesn't work with the almond butter.
Okay, well, you know what? It was that or an oatmeal cream pie for breakfast, and it seemed
Could have still
like...
slapped some almond butter on that, couldn't you?
Actually, that's true. Could have put it in the toaster. My friend, okay.
I think you chose wrong.
Was it Chris? Yeah, Chris was the one that showed us that you put oatmeal cream pies in the oven.
In the oven, but not the toaster, right? Because when it catch on fire in the toaster.
Yeah, no, it would leak out. But like, get them in the oven, get them all warm and crispy. So good.
Well, I think that was our answer right there.
All right. Kyle said, you said outside the bun. Isn't that a KFC thing? Yeah, I stole it, okay? They stole something from me a long time ago. We don't have to get into it, but they owe me big. Serena says, would it be different if it was a breakfast sandwich?
Absolutely. Because then it's a sandwich with it. But you're just putting almond butter and it's not toast. It's different. But you could have eggs and bacon and put it on the little bun.
This feels unfair to me.
Why?
It feels very arbitrary is all I'm going to say.
Well, Serena, thank you for texting.
Angela's back on the Five Guys thing. Five Guys fries made hot dogs on hamburger buns before because you're out of hot dog buns. Okay, hot dog. See, I think a hot dog and a hamburger bun is like, all right, sure.
But again, no matter what we believe, can we all just agree on one thing? We do like bread, don't we?
We do love bread.
So that is the common driving force that brings us all together eventually.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I feel like is the worst. Though, okay, this is unfair, but it's true. Like when you're out of hot dog buns and you put a hot dog just on a piece of bread, I'm just like, why are we even eating?
Well, see.
Wrapping this bread around a hot dog, and I've done it many times.
Doesn't work.
But there's something about it that I'm just like, man, we've bottomed out. This is it. We bottomed out. Like, this couldn't get any worse unless we had no food at all. This is it.
I would have rather been like, oh, there's a paper towel. We can make that work.
Well,
fold it over many times.
I mean, come on.
You can eat that.
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I'm going to take the bread because just like we said,
bread
it's
is still bread.
And bread is good. We can all agree on that.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from McGee's. The worst of the riot on RadioU.
Wrapping up our grilled cheese / bun
bread
discussion.
Talk.
Bread talk.
Bread talk.
It's a new segment here on the show.
Do you think it'll be the only time we have bread talk? It's not.
You know what? Join us next week for more bread talk when Nikki explores her love of sweetbreads.
Woo!
It's cake week here on Bread Talk. We should totally do that.
I don't see anybody arguing no on that.
Okay. But Harley says Five Guys managed to ruin the world's most perfect food, the grilled cheese.
Aww.
And that is because they do serve it on hamburger
bun.
And Nikki is being a bit of a bread snob.
I guess I am.
But then she doesn't eat bread, does she?
I do eat bread.
You're back on bread.
You hear that?
Heard it.
That's the bread.
I heard it.
That's the disappointment.
I
have not as much bread as I used to, but I'm not as good as I was last year.
Yeah.
Because you just can't sustain that. But not as good.
That's where I'm at with soda.
Oh, yeah? You've gone back more?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I brought a 2-liter in this morning.
You know, it's hard because I just want to say this the right way. You could do it for a little bit, but then it's so disappointing when it seems like you can't possibly go back to how you had less soda or less bread. And you're like, what's wrong, body? Why, we did it fine for however long it was, but your body's like, nah, we can't do it. We'll die. It's like, we just can't.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Well, you know what? I don't feel bad about it. I do feel a little bad about it because you guys keep track of everything. So, like...
You guys notice.
It's like, you go out and you're like getting some soda and someone's like, oh, I didn't think you drank that. And you're like, well, who are you?
Why are you telling me that?
We haven't even met yet and you're already judging me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough out there, you know?
It's hard. Let's see. Aaron texted, Obi, have you ever made homemade bread?
Absolutely.
You can have something special warm with the peanut butter.
I'll tell you this. I haven't done it in a while, but my friend's grandpa was a baker in the United States Navy.
Yeah.
That was his job. He worked in the kitchen. That dude made homemade bread that would
blow our minds.
Blow your mind.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
How
And
are
the
you
thing
supposed
is,
to say no to fresh homemade bread?
and he made bread almost every day.
Yeah?
So, like, he would get up every morning and make bread for the family, like, here, fresh bread. And it was just like, can I move in?
Can I have a bread pillow, please, for nighttime and eat my pillow?
I just called him Grandpa, and I went over there one time. I was like, hey, I want to make bread with you. I want you to show me how to make bread.
Then he might think you are one of the grandkids and just
like,
give you bread.
I can't see so good. Sure, whatever.
Just give it to him.
I made bread with him. Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's really sad? I then got my picture taken with him, like me and him making the bread, and I went in and found that picture hanging in the house with me cut out of the picture. Just him with the bread. That's a true story.
No!
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because apparently the rest of the family didn't take the time to invest in their relationship with Grandpa and make bread with him.
Yeah.
So Grandpa died, and they were all sad, so they took this picture of me and Grandpa making bread and just cut me out.
Because they didn't need you in that?
That's right.
That's horrible. You've had some things where he's got some story, and we just heard one.
I don't resent it, though. It's fine. I'm just too ugly to hang on the wall.
With Grandpa.
There are a lot of reasons to listen to The Riot every morning. For example, give me a minute. There's got to be at least one. It's The Riot on RadioU.
You know, if you're really, really interested in hearing someone review movies that are 6 to 8 weeks old,
Woo!
I cannot recommend enough to you to check out the Riot podcast.
This show has what you were looking for.
Yesterday's Worst of the Riot podcast contains my deeply insightful, culled from the internet and spit back out as if it were my own opinion review of Aquaman.
6 or however many weeks it's been out.
Yeah.
Only the best.
And on that note, Nikki, they have officially announced, like, it's a go.
Aquaman 2?
They're writing the script right now. Right now, you're drinking coffee. They're writing an Aquaman script.
They're on vacation in the pool trying to get inspiration.
Someone is swimming around. They're standing in the aquarium just like, come on, fish, talk to me.
Give me the idea.
Talk to me, fish. Tell me something. I got to know what's going on. So that's what's happening. You know that totally is. Like somebody right now is writing off a vacation. They're like, this is just my inspiration for writing Aquaman.
For Aquaman, though, wouldn't they just go by pulling out one of the comic book things? Or like just, was Aquaman?
You know, Nikki, is that what you see it? Is that kind of reductionism is what is
Don't
going to...
they take inspiration from one of those to kind of keep it in the world?
Okay, so you're reading a comic book while you're sitting on the beach because you have to be close to the ocean.
Yes, I guess.
Because that's where a lot of the story is going to take place is in the ocean.
What we're saying is you can still write off your vacation to some sort of beach destination.
Absolutely. I want you to know that yesterday I wrote a bunch of liners for the IRS, the Instant Request Service on RadioU, and don't tell anybody, but I was in the bath while I wrote them. So,
okay,
you know, like just surrounded by hot water, nothing between me and the world. And that's when my creative expression found its greatest freedom. And so I just typed them into my phone and
they just came to you.
Shipped them off. Yeah.
So for Aquaman, because it is such a big release for international audience, I make sure it was an international vacation.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would definitely, I would find myself a very nice beach, like
somewhere.
Like Thailand, China, definitely in the Pacific Rim. I hear they have beautiful beaches. Not that I've ever been.
Well, your liners haven't gotten you there yet. Maybe one day.
What, one day?
So if they just said Aquaman 2, though, no, like 3 yet?
We don't. You know, Nikki, let's not put any limits on it. You guys just write what you feel.
What comes to them.
And then we'll just kind of see where it goes from there. But you guys just do what you feel, okay? Explore the space.
So yesterday...
Explore the beach. Come to the aquarium.
If you wondered, did Obi like Aquaman, you can catch up on our Worst of Riot podcast, which we post a bunch of places. That's on our RadioU Riot Facebook page every day. It's on our YouTube channel every day. And then, of course, just wherever you find podcast, our Worst of Riot podcast, you'll just pull it up there.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
You know, a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about the internet, and rightfully so. The internet brings us a lot of ugly things. But, you know, sometimes, Nikki, the internet teaches us things.
It does?
It tells us about things that we didn't even know existed.
Hey, does that include something about space?
Did you know that there's a movie called The Wandering Earth?
I did not.
It's a Chinese movie, big budget Chinese science fiction-ish film, though according to this, they categorize it as fantasy, and it is currently playing in the U.S. It released over the weekend.
Yeah.
And reviews for it have been really good, and I want to see it. It's only playing at one theater in my hometown, despite the fact that there are 400 movie theaters around. It's only playing at one place.
So, I'm sorry, when did it come out, in China?
I don't know.
Was it this year?
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, sometimes when it actually comes here to theaters, you can find it online.
Oh.
Legally, you could find it too.
Oh, okay.
Not illegally.
All right.
I'm just saying, don't just think that, when the Godzilla stuff came out, that had been out online for ages, and then it finally came out to theaters.
Wait, are we talking about the Netflix one?
No, the Godzilla.
Oh, Shin Godzilla.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. Nikki's right. I could have watched it quasi-legally.
Legally. Totally legally. What
are we on an island, a non-extradition country? It's not so much where you are, it's where the servers are.
Correct. And it's fine. And they're fine with it because they put it out that way.
It's not that big of a deal, okay? Don't make it a thing.
It looks interesting. So it says the sun is dying out. A group of brave astronauts set out to find a new planet for the whole human race.
Which that synopsis doesn't sound anything like the synopsis I read yesterday.
Really? It doesn't?
Not really.
2019 fantasy,
Same
2 hour, 5 minutes.
Movie.
That's the one. 8 out of 10.
Dude, I think I'm going to go see it. That's kind of all right. That seems cool to me. It's there are all these other movies that I'm they look okay. But here's this, I'm going to call it weird movie from China because it feels weird. I've never heard of it. It's only playing at one theater. I've got to go hunt it down. The trailer looks pretty cool.
Pretty good?
Yeah. There's this shot of a guy just shooting a minigun up at Jupiter because he's so mad at it.
Is this true? The Wandering Earth wrapped up its first week of release in China, which it just did, with a record-breaking $349 million.
Boom.
That is the biggest one-week total ever in China, which beat out the Detective Chinatown 2 and Wolf Warrior 2, which we've mentioned that movie before.
That's not helping its case at all.
It is the second biggest 7-day total for any release in any territory, save for Star Wars The Force Awakens. So it has, in China, it's earned more than Avengers Infinity War, which earned $338 million last time. So it's brought in a lot of money.
The thing about everything you just said is that saying that this movie broke the Wolf Warrior 2 record.
But that was a top movie.
I watched Wolf Warrior 2 because it was the top grossing film in China 1 or 2 years ago. I was just man, this is amazing. On the other side of the world, this is their favorite movie.
Yeah.
China is 1/7 of the entire population of the world. This was their movie. And when I watched it, I was oh no. This is not good.
This looks better. The trailer looks better, at least.
I agree with you. So I'm hoping that it's good. And right now this is not an easy week for me to get there to see it. I really hope it runs for more than a week because there's a good chance I won't make it this week, but next week I totally could.
You have more time?
Yeah.
Well, if anybody sees The Wandering Earth, let him know.
What if we went for your birthday next week?
No, I knew you were going to say that.
Perfect.
It's it's meant to be. Yeah, you go look and see what times they have on my birthday. We'll see if it works.
Okay, let's do it. I'll get the tickets right now.
You'd think that after all these years of hearing me make fun of the riot, people would have stopped listening by now. Maybe it's one of those can't stop staring at a train wreck situations. It's the riot on RadioU.
Nikki, you know what? No, I'm not.
I'm
not even.
You don't want to?
I'm not even going to do it.
Well, now everybody's curious.
I know. Well, let's skip ahead. Let's talk about what happened at the Indiana Pacers game. The Clippers and the Pacers were playing, and a bat was seen swooping in.
Yeah, flying around while the basketball game was going on.
And so officials have now come out and they're like, hey, if you came in contact with the bat at all,
you need to go see a doctor because you could have exposure then to rabies. But that I think is only if it touches you or like bites you.
Right.
So,
but if it did that,
well, yeah, when
you should go get the rabies vaccine.
You should make sure you go to the doctor.
Isn't that like 5 shots? The thing I was saying is like if you get rabies, you have to get shots in your stomach.
No, I don't think so. Do you?
I don't know if that's actually true, but that was like the thing. Like when I was a kid, I was like, dude, if you get bit by a rat or like a dog or something or like a bat, you have to have all these shots in your stomach and it hurts so bad.
I think that's to get you to stop playing or like being near them. When you're
That's
younger.
when I had to let my bats go.
Yeah, you're
Fly, my pretties. Goodbye.
What's the one
Goodbye.
What's the one if you like stepped on a nail or something rusty?
That's
What's
another
that
one. That's tetanus.
Tetanus shot. Okay, that one's 1, and I think that one hurts. But for rabies, I think it's only 1 or 2. I'm not sure.
Okay. You know, tetanus shot. It's the first dose being a 3-in-1 combination called the Tdap.
Because aren't you supposed to get a tetanus shot every so many years? Because they ask you, and one time I lied. I was like, I'm not getting it. It's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not getting that thing. Why? I don't go near nails. I'm fine.
Oh, my gosh. Where on your body?
Hey, that person was just shot happy. They were just like, here, take everything. They were like, why you're here? Why don't we get you caught up? I was like, I don't need that one.
You know what?
What?
It's fine. If you went to the doctor and they said, let's get you caught up, they weren't like, I haven't given a shot in like an hour. I got to do it.
No, because I had to have, that was the one, because I traveled somewhere and I had to have like the closing shots for what I had to take to travel to these areas.
Boom! Right
What?
here. The rabies vaccine has not been given in the stomach since the 80s. For adults, it's given in the deltoid muscle of the upper arm. Boom! So when I was a kid, that means that one of the other kids on the playground, like their mom or something, probably had it in the stomach. So it's real. They actually got a shot in their stomach.
No!
Oh, God. I can't do that.
What, do you think that would be easier or harder than your arm?
I got a lot of flab there. I'm
Maybe
not going to lie
it's
to you.
easier.
Like, it would need to be a long needle. Unless they were putting it in your fat.
Whenever you get a shot in your arm, I mean, it hurts. You just become a baby. Not like you, but I do. It hurts in your arm.
Do you?
When I do get the shot, if I don't lie my way out of it.
What is wrong with you?
What? It's just a tetanus shot. I didn't need it.
Nikki, we need to go get you all caught up.
I don't want the rabies
Let's
shot.
get Nikki all caught up.
I don't want the rabies one. I don't need it.
You went down to the clinic and got the hepatitis shots.
Because where I was traveling. That was it. I had to.
Well, so.
Let's see. Dana says it has to go in your muscle, actually.
Well,
Well, then the stomach is not
I was going to say, I'm not going to be getting no stomach shots. I got nothing to worry about.
Free from that. No problem.
Can't even find his stomach.
Good luck
or
on
a
the
muscle
arm.
in there.
Good luck anywhere.
How are you standing up right now?
Where's all your muscles?
I don't even know this is possible.
We've never had this, but we can't give him a shot anywhere.
Doctor, could you come in here for a moment?
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting?
Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com.
Obadiah is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
You know, I'm probably too often casually dismissive of things that other people care about because I just think they're stupid. And it's not that they are stupid.
It's just your feelings.
Is, you know what that is? That is right now I'm holding up a mirror and you know who's stupid?
Aww.
It's me. Okay? Because I should be willing to hear what other people are interested in, allow them. I do like hearing people that are passionate about something talk about the thing that they're passionate about.
Not too passionate. Just that sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Now we're making it about me again. And I know everything is, but let's try for a while to see, what Nikki thinks about something. Nikki, have you ever taken your dog, who just turned 2, by the way?
Yeah, my dog had his birthday last week.
Have you ever given him a DNA test?
No, I have not.
Well, you've thought about it.
No, we talked about that before.
Did we?
We did, because then
Like
we
you and me?
mentioned, on air, because you could buy a dog's, you could, just like with humans, you can do a dog DNA test.
Yeah.
And then the only good, maybe reason you would want to is to find out some of the breed, like your traits of your dog, which could in turn, when he's older, lead to medical problems.
Right.
So like, I've had schnauzers, 2 schnauzers, and I know they had certain health traits that they would all get sick from when they would get older. And then it could help you figure out if you need to do any preventative things beforehand.
So do you feel like it's worth it?
No, not with Rolo. Not with my dog.
Is it just because he's got big floppy ears and he's so fun that he could never get sick?
No, it's fine.
Nothing will ever happen to him.
No, and I know what he is, so I don't need to.
Oh, and don't you have him on that payment plan where if something happens to him, they just give you another one?
No, that's not how it is. No. The store offers that if you want, but you have to always buy things from them, so I didn't do that.
Yeah, down there at the puppy mill. They just crank out another one.
It's fine.
So big deal.
It's fine. Your statement is depressing and sad, but no.
But Rolo's not depressing or sad.
No, he's not. He's
Okay.
amazing.
Well, I was just reading up on there are a few geneticists that are speaking out and saying, hey, we got to rein this in. You guys have got to stop giving your dog tests, because one of the things that they're doing is, especially with dog breeders, is that they're giving dogs DNA tests. And if they have like any particular markers for, potential for diseases or whatever, they don't breed those dogs. But they say one of the things that's starting to happen is that certain other traits are disappearing as well. And a genetic marker for a disease is not the disease. Like,
it's a potential, but it doesn't mean
potential for that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get it. And so they're saying, hey, we got to stop this DNA testing with dogs and just let dogs be dogs, okay?
I totally agree.
So, Nikki, this should be your thing now. I want you to get out there and campaign for this. Stop DNA testing your dogs.
I don't even think we should all worry about that as humans. Let's just leave it be.
But, Nikki, don't you want to know where you're... Oh, my God. I'm not going to say... Listen, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about this, but I'm going to tell you this. I had a conversation with somebody who shipped away from one of those DNA test kits, whatever.
You spit in it?
Yeah. Which... Oh, wait, I said I'm not going to be dismissive, right?
Dismissive?
Yeah. But I will tell you that my trait, that is not a hidden trait, came out when they were like, and this is a direct quote, I just feel like I'm finally ready to discover who I am.
Fine.
And I was like...
You knew you were the whole time.
Yeah. And by spitting in this cup, these strangers you don't know are going to send you back a printout that you hope they got right. And it's going to tell you, who you are.
It's not our thing. With the dog thing, though, there had been talks that the information you were getting back from some companies was just made up. So that was where their biggest concern from.
That can't be true.
They had companies that were just sending anything back.
And you don't think they would do that with people?
You could also say that there are some companies that are doing that too.
Man, if you've got people that are really trying to discover who they are, I'm sure they're working very hard to keep your information
honest.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
It's like, honestly, they're just lying, but... So with the dog thing, they were especially worried about that.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. RadioU.
It is an established fact on this show that Nikki has multiple times said that she wants to die on Mars.
Never.
And one of the hardest things about it is that it's getting harder and harder for her to die on Mars and realize her dreams.
I don't want to go to Mars.
But you want to die there.
Is
it just the trip you don't like? Because, for example, like, I don't want to drive to wherever. I hate travel. But, like, getting there, the destination is going to be so much fun.
I don't want to.
They have rocks.
Nope.
And they have more rocks.
Listen, I don't want the whole thing. I don't want to train.
And mountains and valleys and rocks.
I don't want any of the T's. I don't want to train. I don't want to travel. I don't want to live there, study there, be there. Anything involved with space travel, I don't want to do.
Think about how boring it was. Like when your parents would take you places you didn't want to go. Like, we're going to go to this monument. Oh, you love monuments. Like, no, I don't.
It's like, here, this will be just 2 years. And we probably won't have you actually come back. So
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Mars.
It's like imagine your parents taking you camping, but you have nothing. Like when you get there, your parents take you camping in the desert. That's going to Mars. I do and don't understand our obsession with getting there. I understand that in that most of the time, if you tell someone they can't do something, they become obsessed with doing it. That's why we want to go to Mars.
That's normal.
And we're going to say things like it's for scientific exploration. It's for the greaterment of mankind. No, it's just because you can't right now. And people can't stand that.
Some people want to be the first to explore it and see what they can do.
If you could go to Mars like in 5 minutes and it was no big deal to hop on the Mars shuttle, you'd be like, I don't even want to go. Like they don't have anything to do there. Like I'm so bored of it. But instead, they're like, man, I got to get there.
It's a trip you probably won't come back from.
So all this Mars talk is revolving around Mars One. Now, there have been a couple of companies and groups that have been like, hey, we're going to Mars.
Wasn't there some sort of TV, like, reality program where...
That's these people.
The competition to try to get there?
Their whole hook was like, look, we're going to Mars, and one of the ways we're going to pay for it are the reality TV shows that we're going to put on because everybody's going to love it. Like, we're on the Mars ship. Who's dating who? Like, who's together, right? Hey, you know what? We ran out of food, so we had to eat Billy. And you guys voted. Everybody voted who was going to get eaten. It's the best reality show ever.
It's so sad because I can see that happening.
We can watch their madness take over live on camera.
That is not good.
Oh, I'm sorry, too much. But Mars One, they announced that they were going bankrupt last night. And then this morning, I just checked in on this, like right before we started, and they say that apparently there is a mysterious investor that has appeared that is willing to
at last minute
buy in so that they can continue operations building towards these reality shows and various things
like
to
a
get
trap.
to Mars. It feels
or
like
a trick. Like, you know, last night that was a play to try to get others to give money to it too, and they already had that investor lined up.
I agree with you. It feels a little for a company that's like we're doing reality TV for them to have something staged like this. It feels
about right.
It feels like something they've made up, but we don't know that.
So what is that one called? The
Mars One.
Mars One.
Yeah, and then of course Elon Musk is working on Mars stuff, and so is I believe Richard Branson. Like, but again, I don't know.
Who isn't nowadays?
Yeah, I think Elon Musk was going to start a candy company too, but I don't know. I haven't heard much about that.
It's like, are they intertwined somehow?
Martian candy.
Where are they getting the candy from?
Maybe it's from Mars.
What's Mars made out of?
It's made out of candy.
Can we eat it? We had no idea.
Nikki, you know if we could eat Mars, we'd still be going there.
Oh, yeah, that'd be like...
You wouldn't have to bring any food.
Well, you wouldn't have to get investors. People would just be giving money.
I just want to go there and eat it.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
You guys can't even know how much I hate myself right now.